My name is Beach. This is Minecraft, and I'm playing Minecraft. Welcome to the Minecraft. Yeah, if you've been paying attention, this doesn't look like where we left off last time, and there's a bit of a story that I'm going to tell you right now. So, in the last episode that I went to record, I had not been paying attention to the time, so the episode ended up running roughly the audio recording ended up running an hour, and it was an hour pretty much of nothing. But here's a quick recap if you're interested. Quick little recap of what happened. I'm gonna show you right now. Off to a great start. I've been needing some iron. Shoot. Did not mean to do that. Let's get this iron real quick. Alright. Oh, thank God. Ooh, don't want to look at you. Let's do this, and then let's do this. Get all these sticks, and then what do we got going on? Tight. I don't remember cave systems being this expansive. That's just, you know, I don't know how they changed how these like cave systems work. But I remember that a lot of the stuff being pretty narrow and just opening up every once in a while. But this is it's pretty big. And I got some iron here, so that works. Give to me. Thank y'all. Now we're gonna just... What the fuck was it? Is that a bat? You just teasing me at that point. You just teasing my nips. Give me the old nip tease. Yeah. A whole lot of nothing. I did set out to, you know, go find iron, and I did. I found a lot of iron. And then... So, oh god, a lot happened. So the house looks different. Things are gonna look different. So let me explain. So that episode happened, the recording. I didn't like it, so I wasn't gonna use it. I was gonna do something else, but I wanted to get a couple things done before I started recording. In that time, everything kind of went to complete chaos. First things first. I ended up encountering multiple patrols coming to the village. I fought like 5 patrols. I recovered 3 of their banners, and I fought a raid because I accidentally got too close while having the debuff, and so that was fun. I had to fight a raid. And then after the raid, I discovered that this village had only 1 villager left. And I was like, well, what the heck happened to all the villagers? Now, 2 things could have happened. Either they despawned because reasons, or they all died, except for the 1 villager that lived in this hut. They easily could have died by falling, or the multiple patrols that would come through. And so what I then had to do, well, initially I logged in to record the episode, and I was like, well, let me outline my house expansion, because I wanted to expand my house before I started working on the castle town. That completely got derailed because of what happened in this scenario. I built my house there to build near a village to then eventually encompass the village with walls and stuff and kind of make it like a castle town. This place since it only had 1 villager, I then went into panic mode, and I was like, oh, I need to rebuild this village. So, before I get into that, while I'm here, I'm going to explain what the plan is with this remaining site. I'm demolishing the houses, as you can see I kind of started doing. I'm demolishing these houses. I'm going to rebuild 2 or 3 more houses closer to my, what I'm calling my hall, my great hall. It's not really going to be a castle. The building itself that I'm going to be residing in is going to be a hall, which will then overlook the castle town, similar to, I guess, like Skyrim. With those towns, how they have a great hall and then the little townhouses and the markets and stuff. So because of this fissure that runs through the town, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be keeping these three these three farm plots, and I'm going to be leveling the so that wall of dirt right there, I'm going to be leveling that and then placing 2 or 3 more houses there for farmers. So this is still going to be farmland out here, and then I'm going to try to expand my castle wall from that mountain out this way. I need to make sure that I block off this cavern so that no one can possibly fall in there. This is going to be all demolished. This is going to be all demolished. Eventually, maybe I can expand out this way, but that's not the plan right now. So that's what's happening over here. Now, what else happened? While we make our way back to the village, what else happened? So I fought off a raid. I fought a bunch of patrols. Right. Okay. So there was one villager left. The villager wandered over to my home for some reason, and then he quit his job, and for some reason then was no longer pathing back to the village. So I needed to put him in here. As you can see, I have built castle walls, and I've actually been developing this for a bit now. Something incredibly annoying happened while I was doing that. So I have this. All right. So I have this lava thing here that I built in, I guess, an episode. I don't remember if I did or not, or if I built it in between. I was building this wooden pathway. Now the wooden pathway came right up to these blocks. I set the path. I went over here. I came back, and everything was on fire. And of course, like when I'm not recording is when all the exciting things were happening. So here's a quick reenactment of how that went. Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate to my to my panic. So let me actually show you something real quick. So as you can see, I built I'll do it from over here. I built this wall. Initially what I did was I leaded the villager in there. And then once the villager was in there, I secured him in a small hut. And I built this barn. I have a lot of livestock in there. I built this out for grazing. I wanted to have some farming houses down here, which may still happen. So I decided to build, it's just the old tried and true method. Oh, I switched. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. There we go. This is the old tried and true method of get as high as you possibly can. Oh, so the funny thing with the raid is I barely fought the raid because the raid would spawn on this side of the of this other fissure, and then they would mostly fall in. Some of them would path around and actually get into the village. Because the one villager that was alive was here, they kept trying to take, I guess, the shortest route to him. So during the final wave where they have the big beasts that they ride and stuff like that, essentially the whole raid fell into this ravine and they all landed near that lava. So what I did was I grabbed that lava bucket and I ran over there and I just dumped lava on all of them, essentially just wiping them all out, except for the witch. There was a witch that just took a potion and was just living in the lava for a good 20 minutes. So that's how that ended. Anyway, so this town moving forward is mostly abandoned. I'm going to rebuild this area slightly. I don't want a majority of the population being over here anymore because this is unsecure. This is the current castle town. It's kind of haphazard. As you can see, the exterior walls go up to this mountain, and then I have a tower with obviously a campfire. Obviously marking the town. Here is my hall. So my house actually caught fire. The hall actually caught fire. The barn caught fire first. Then it spread over to my house. Most of the roof was destroyed, so I had to redo the roof. So it looks a little weird. And most of the barn and one of the exterior walls was destroyed too. So this was, and the animals that were in there were being damaged too. I didn't lose any animals, thank God. I didn't really lose anything of value in the house, just a painting. And so, as you can see, the village is kind of thriving. You see a couple villagers down there. I'll get into that in a second. So this area here is going to be the extension of the Great Hall that I'm building out with, Christ, what is that? Dorite. I'm using polished dorite to build my stone expansion of my Great Hall. So moving forward, I'm going to be using mostly stone, probably some timber to build up this hall. So this is the exterior wall. The exterior wall itself is brick stone, dorite, and there's another stone that I forget the name of it. It's a gray slab that I've been using, and I've been doing a little bit of I've been trying to do a little bit of patterning to make it a little bit more interesting in that regard. So with that said, I'm going to say this is like 80% done. There's still some cobblestone that I got. So I started doing it with cobblestone. I really didn't like the look, so I was like, I need to redo this. So I'm trying to clean it up. I'm trying to give it more of a castle look and make it look cool. So, and actually it's cool that it's going to be nighttime, so you can see, I'll talk about that in a second. So you can see how well lit up or not well lit up this place is. I have torches everywhere. The interior wall has a lot of torches and lanterns. Obviously the campfire is a good source of light. That's a huge source of light. I do need to cover up some dark spots because mobs still do spawn in there, which is a pain in the ass. And I have some chickens running around, and I believe the villagers have actually spawned 3 guardians, if they haven't despawned. I don't know how village mechanics work yet. Last time I was in the village, I saw 3 guardians walking around, which is crazy because this village only had 1 guardian defending this whole area. So in this enclosed area, there's 3 guardians. So if something does spawn, it's highly likely that it will run into a guardian in its lifetime. So the castle wall is mostly done. The gate, I'll show you the gate area. I'm actually going to go to sleep and then show you the castle in the morning, because I've died a lot. The highest level, so if you look at my level, I'm level 9. The highest level I actually ended up getting to, and of course, the highest level I ended up getting to was 21. I really hate the skeletons in this game. Like, I hate them so goddamn much. It's like unreal with how unnecessarily accurate they are. So let me see what I can regather. Like, he just... let me not go near there, because I don't want him to snipe me. It's so unnecessary with how accurate they are. Like, he just whipped around and shot me right in the face, of course. So, as long as I have my bow... So I found out that this bow that I found was enchanted, which is cool. It has unbreaking and mending. And now, I found this bow. I don't remember where I found it, but I had it for a really long time. And I never did anything with it. I think I got all my stuff back. Did I get my sword? Got my sword. Alright, whatever. So let me go to bed. Get rid of those mobs. I really hate skeletons. Most of my deaths have been... Well, besides the raid... I died a lot in the raid. Besides the raid, it's mostly skeletons. Just shooting me in the face. Also, this is a map. I want to build a map wall somewhere eventually. Okay, so... Let's do this real quick. I think this episode is just basically going to be kind of explaining like what is going on here than any like actual adventuring. But I want to at least let people know why things are different. So let me just drop over here. Did any of my stuff fall down there? look at... Look. That's the guy that killed me, too. I'm gonna get him real quick. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you could try. I'm coming for you, bro. Path all the way around. God, this fissure. Like, I'm gonna just straight up murder this skeleton. I hate skeletons in this game so much. Highest level was 21. I hit 21, and then I actually think I died in a cave. Why am I not hitting? Fuck off. God, they're so unnecessarily strong. I believe I died in a cave, and I lost like more than half of my level. So I have like no food. Do I have my... Yeah, got this. Anyway, so with the castle wall, I had decided that I wanted it to be in the built into the mountain, because I thought that would have been cool. So I was also kind of like, this is where I was like digging initially, if you remember. So I needed to kind of close up this area. So this is like a gate. So there's the you know, like a banner. This is the gate, right? Since there's no actual gates in Minecraft, I just kind of did like a little double door gate action, right? And zombies spawn in like a hollowed out area that I made by accident, so that's just a constant thing. Now this is, yeah. Now this is like a watchtower was the intention with this. So you can like come up here and kind of see. I might build this up higher because it's just kind of like level with the mountain. So this might actually be elevated at some point. Exterior wall. Nothing crazy going on here. So let's actually go into the town and I'll explain what's actually happening in here. Right. I have to keep this fenced off because a villager decided he was going to go through those doors and venture outside, and I spent a lot of time building up this town again. So, I had one villager. This guy. Not this guy. I know who it is specifically. Not the butcher. This guy. This was the original villager. I had him encased in this little area, and I was like, I need to go find another villager. So, I got real lost and found... probably him. I found another villager from a taiga biome. Then I had to get him in a boat and get him all the way back here. It was a giant pain in the ass to get him here. So I finally got another villager back here, and I was like, okay, like this is gonna put some urgency on me building up this town because I want to rebuild the village. So I believe I have 6. I have 6 villagers. I have him. I got the farmer. I have a librarian. I have the butcher. This is empty. I have the weaponsmith. And I think there's one more somewhere. This village currently holds 6 beds. Yeah, there's the other guy. 1 bed here, 1 bed here, 1 bed here, 3 beds in this house. So I actually think this is why we have so many iron golems, because from what I understand, iron golems are spawned when 3 villagers see a zombie. So I think at night, because I have 3 villagers in this house, if a zombie does spawn and walks past this window or this door, it is likely for them to... or here even, it is likely for them to all see the zombie and spawn a golem. So we have 3 currently. We have 2 here. I think there's 1. I don't know if he is stuck. He might be. So let me just knock this wall down so he can get out, because I don't know how he even got in here. But yeah. So I guess like just... let me explain what's going on in the castle town and what is what's what in here, because it's a little haphazard, because of the urgency that I needed to build this. So my intention was having like a storefronts under here, like all the professions that would be considered traditional castle professions are going to be built under the hall. So I have the toolsmith here, and I have 2 toolsmiths but only 1 working station, and I don't know why. Both of them decided to be... It's really annoying because this guy, one of them could be a different profession, but they refused to. I have the smoker here, and I have the weaponsmith, and I'm thinking about putting the stone cutter down here, like next to the weaponsmith, and making this like a unified work area for them. And I have a librarian and a farmer. Now, initially, I didn't want any farmland in the castle town because I had intention on putting farmland out there. But to expand the village, you need food for your villagers. So I built the farmland here. One of them got the job. So he is basically automating the village expansion inside the walls, which is good because I don't want to be responsible for feeding these people and getting them to expand. Now, I am responsible for building houses. What I'm trying to do is build smaller houses so I can make this, like, I want this to feel like a city, like a medieval castle town in that regard of like having denser streets, you know, narrower pathways, you know, that type of stuff. So that's kind of the plan in here. So storefronts, village center, which I need to rebuild. This was just kind of thrown together haphazardly. This is going to be the library, kind of like chapel looking area. Obviously I have a librarian here already. So I have 6 villagers in total. So 6 in total. With 3 guardians protecting the town. So this area is fairly secure. And I have this thing, I forget what this is called. I was fortunate enough to find a neighboring town in my travels that let me borrow, quote unquote, that, I think it's called a lectern? I forget. Let me get out of here real quick because I've been doing so much development in here. All I've heard is, for like the past like 2 days because it's been a lot of work trying to build this up. So, obviously stone cutter up here to cut all this stone. So, this is going to be the Great Hall, right? This will overlook the village. The village is going to be a little bit more densely populated. I have a tree right now. Might get rid of it. Don't know. I started building a greenhouse, and that was a project I was working on that got postponed. I have a barn, as you saw, next to my home, where all my my animals are kept, so chickens, cows, and sheep. And I have a cat. I found a cat because villages spawns cats. And by creating this village, I now have cats spawning here and golems spawning here. So yeah, it's been a bit. This is, like I said, this episode was mainly just kind of like catching up. Next episode is going to be like an actual adventure. So this thing took a whole day essentially. Oh, look, and they're trying to have kids, but there's no bed, so I don't know if that's actually going to work. Or, I mean, I could throw a bed down. Yeah, so they can't have babies. They want to have the baby, but they can't, because there's no bed. I could make a bed, technically. I think I have the wool. Yeah, I can make them a bed. They're so desperate to expand. Let's make them a bed real quick. I don't know where it's going to go, because I don't have any other houses planned out yet, but we can figure that out later. Maybe I'll just put the bed here. Put the bed like here. right? No, not there. Put the bed like right there. Kind of outline where the house is gonna be. So I'm trying to keep their houses relatively small. To again try to get the most out of the space that I have in these villages. But anyway, so this guy always has an issue finding his bed. Like, he tries to path into this door. Like, go to sleep, bud. Look, there you go. Look at this. There you go, friend. Every time. Yeah, so if you want to rebuild a village, this is how you do it, apparently. Build a wall, get a farmer, throw a couple beds down, and just let the villagers kind of do their thing. That whole village was basically rebuilt because of the villager that I kidnapped from another village. So, I do apologize for basically just kind of talking about this little town that I'm working on and not really doing anything or showing anything. I've been watching some other Let's Players play the game and talking about how they do things, and I'm really trying to figure out how to make this more interesting. I don't want to, because some people have like these like big projects that they're working on and they show you how to do it, and it's like they have like all these like automated farming things and all that. Like, that's not my thing. I don't want to be like building like these like big automated processes. Like, my main idea was to just kind of experience the game, build up a village, expand a kingdom. Now, what I want to do is eventually make this even bigger. I want to expand that wall out, probably have more farming areas out there. I really want to build a castle, like a castle town. I want that castle feel. I think it's cool. So that's kind of my plan with this moving forward. So in the next episode, I will have a more solid plan in adventuring. That's just kind of just a quick catch-up, quick, quote-unquote, 25 minutes almost, maybe more, of what's going on. So thank you for checking this out. I appreciate it. Yeah. And my name is Beach. I'll catch you on the next Minecraft show.